Welcome everyone. I'm Fausto Carnevale. Finally, you can see me live for only 15 minutes today, but excuse me. But I will be happy to get your questions. So if you are not live now to watch this streaming, I will invite you to write your questions below. What does it mean? When you will see it live after the video, you can write your questions. Please note that today I'm going to talk about some specific way to save taxes in Europe. I might reply to all your questions, but I have only 15 minutes to read an article. So in case I don't reply, don't worry. Text leave again in the comment section your comment, or better way to keep in contact with us, please send us an email at info.esentaxa.com. Anyway, you will see our email in our new great website. So what I wanted to talk today, because this is a misunderstanding that you have when you want to move to Europe. In this quick video, I just wanted to remark the misunderstanding that a lot of people have when they want to move from another country to Europe, especially when they want to move to Europe from the United States. Why? So you may think that living in Europe, living in Italy, you may think that it is hard because you only see the taxes that you pay in the country. So let's say you are an entrepreneur, you contact us, you want to open a company, but no, let's say you want to live in Italy, but after a call with us, you see that you have to move to Italy. The error that you do, that you and I, that I also I was doing when I when I was a student of accountancy in Italy, is to think only about the country. Is only to think, well, I would like to live to Italy. But I saw this forfeit regime, this regime impatriati. This is not good for me. Sorry, I don't watch your videos. I can't go to Italy. I want you guys to think out of the box, especially if you are entrepreneurs. Especially if you are entrepreneurs, you have to think a little bit out of the box. There are 100 cases, 100 circumstances. So you can have business online, you can have to, you have maybe restaurants. But when you want to move to a country, you have to try to understand. And this is very important. And I will give you a quick example as well. You have to try to understand if you can be in the country without being registered in the country. And of course, these require more assistance, they require more questions. But imagine that you want to go to Italy 3 months per year. Because now you have money. Now you can afford to spend 1 week in Rome, 1 week in Milan, 1 week in Florence, and 1 week in Naples. But you say, Fausto, I have dividends from USA and Canada. No, I don't want to stay to Italy. Okay. What if I asked you, would you mind to live in Portugal, for instance? Would you mind to register yourself to the Gran Canaria in Spain? Would you mind to register yourself in Romania and then go to Italy 3, 4, 5 months per year? Because as an entrepreneur, what you want is money and freedom. You have to think out of the box, even if you're just because now I'm saying this because we support a lot of people who are basically freelancer, free. The meaning of freedom is that in this digital era in 2022, we are November 2022. Think about it. What does it mean? Freelance is freedom, freedom to work wherever you want. So you have to relocate yourself, considering that the point of view of the taxes, but considering as well that you don't have to live 1 year in that country. Consider that you can travel, you can rent a car and you can travel and live to Italy. So, for instance, what I talked about in the previous video is the non-habitual resident status in Portugal. Uh, there are some things that has to be analyzed. I'm going to do a quick summary here of the NHR, but please, I invite you to watch again the video that I did 2 weeks ago, especially the video that I posted this week as well. I'm reading an article very interesting here about the NHR tax status granted by Portugal in order to benefit from a special tax rate. In 2009, Portugal decided to create the non-habitual resident status. The purpose of the new status is to attract foreigners with high value added potential, such as retirees or skilled employees. Under certain conditions, the NHR status allow a tax rate of income of 20% for the income produced in Portugal, or even a total tax exemption from pension of private sector pensioners. Just the other day, I was in a bar with a friend. She's Portuguese, and we were, and I'm very curious to be true because I will go to Portugal at the end of the year for holidays and for work. So I asked her, "Hey, what do you think about Portugal now? They are doing something." And you know what she told me? She told me, "Fausto, I wouldn't go back to Portugal if I had the chance." Of course, she worked for an embassy here, so she couldn't go. But she said to me, I would go back if I could to Portugal because when I have to rent an apartment, when I have to go to the restaurants, the cost of living is not very high. And she said, and this is not applicable for me, Fausto, she told me. But I see that the government is doing a lot of things to attract people from all Europe. I'm just giving you a quick example. I don't give you names, but I have a friend of mine who is an entrepreneur very known in Italy. He has a digital e-commerce. He moved to Portugal with the opening of a company in another country for the e-commerce. He's very famous in Italy for the e-commerce. You know that now he's paying a rate of 0% for 10 years of the taxes, of the dividends that he's getting from his Italian company. 0. Let me introduce another thing here. When I say 0, of course there are some accountant costs. Of course there are fees. And please reconsider that the people who are giving you fiscal consultancy, of course they are adding fee because if you think of what the money that you're saving, no? But he's paying, let's say, 5-10% max of what, because he had to relocate in Portugal, he had to do different things, but we're not talking about 30, 40, 50% of taxes. We're talking about 5%. So the thing that I was saying, also just to make you understand, the rule in Europe is basically that you need to stay at least 6 months in that country, because a lot of you they want to say, they want to ask like, yeah, first of all, I don't want to live to Italy. I love Italy. Yeah, I want to live wherever I want. So consider, and I have examples of people that I follow on YouTube, mentors of mine, that they are located, for instance, in Dubai, and they can travel the world because Dubai requires you to go there only once, if I'm not wrong, after 6 months. So, apart from the cost of living in Dubai, you can basically travel the world. Now I'm doing, and we are focusing more on the European market. But of course, each case has to be analyzed step by step. What I'm doing in the next weeks, and I would like to share this information with you live today, guys. I'm going to explain the tax perspective for each country in Europe, each interesting country. For instance, last this week actually I talked about also the Netherlands for having a holding. So I will start to give an introduction with all the countries, and I start to also show you some cases, especially some cases of some clients that we consulted, that we had consulted with, in order to make you understand what are the main problem, the main issues, the main concerns of entrepreneurs that want to move to Europe, especially. But please consider one thing: when you want to relocate yourself in one country, uh, just to let you understand a bit the logic that you must follow, is you have to think to relocate, but with a general view. You have to think in relocating yourself with a view of think, in the sense that saying and accepting the fact that you can live in one country, open a company in another country, open the bank account in other countries as well to protect the money, and to move free. So I don't want to say that, and I am not a promoter of not respecting the rules, of not respecting the law, but I'm a fan of not respecting the rules. So you have to think out of the box. Those kind of way that the government has to attract people is because they know, and if we can read the law of each country, we will be able to adapt ourselves and to live in multiple countries. We talked a lot about Italy, yeah? And I'm sure that a lot of you guys that will watch this live, they will already know a lot of Italy. We talked about private company. We talked about regime forfettario. We talked about regime impatriati. I don't remember a thing that we didn't discuss, to be honest, in Italy. This is the first channel in English which explain the Italian taxes. The first. If you find another channel, we are putting an effort to expand our purposes, to expand our vision and mission, and to give you an overview of the European taxes as well. Before closing the call today, I will then invite you, if you have some suggestions, if you saw some cases of friends of yours, like they could move to one country and you want to share with the others people that follow us, I will invite you to put a comment in this streaming. But the best way to get in touch is by booking a call with us. So before closing this call, I'm going to give you a present that we are doing today, a free service, a free call with our clients. And I will put the link here in the description. And I will also put the same link in the comments. So for 1 or 2 months, we are giving this opportunity to contact a member of Esentaxa and to get more information about the country you want to relocate. So feel free to book a call now. And next week, we will give you more information later this week on the YouTube community. But next week, we will discuss other topics in Europe for the European or Italian market, tax-wise. So if you didn't subscribe, please do it now. Push the like button below and share this video with your friends. Share with video with the people you think could benefit the most. Until next time, Fausto Carnevale, accountant, Italian accountant, partner of Esentaxa. Enjoy your staying in Europe.